white cliffs, massive, mystical. They stand in striking contrast, as if a great mythical city of stone had been thrust from the sprawling southwestern desert landscape. Harboring secret treasures in its folds and depths, it is here, protected from the outside world by great cliffs and nearly insurmountable peaks, that Zion National Park can be found. Its canyons and creatures all dwell in a beautiful and mysterious realm that exists somewhere between storm and stone. The white cliffs are only a drop in this great sea of stone, one step in a series of cliffs descending from the north, known as the Grand Staircase of the Colorado Plateau. These gigantic geologic steps begin their descent from the pink cliffs of Bryce Canyon and spill down a series of colorful escarpments to the Kaibab Plateau that forms the north rim of the Grand Canyon. For untold millions of years, the sun has cast its light over this region. Today, its rays fall upon a landscape of peaks, plateaus, and canyonlands. Yet what did dawn's light fall upon 1,000, 1,000,000, 250,000,000 years ago? What life did it stir to rise or set to slumber? The rocks here speak of tremendous oceans and meandering creeks and splendid green fields, of lush forests nurturing a wealth of life, and the most powerful and subtle of natural forces steadily creating enormous rifts over vast amounts of time. All around the Colorado Plateau, nature has hidden astounding works of time on stone within the cracks and chasms of the staircase. Standing before these marvels, one may embrace fantasy or legend rather than conventional thought. From here, we are given a unique vantage point from which to view nature's expression of deep, of swift, of colorful, of sheer, and of balance. Come, let us explore the next step in this majestic staircase, the White Cliffs, where shrouded in mist and lore rests Zion National Park. This oasis of natural treasures in the unrelenting desert beckons us to discover the beauty within this wilderness and within ourselves. Zion, which may be seen as one living organism, is made of many parts and many seasons. Zion embraces the ephemeral and the eternal, the delicate and the rugged. Gentle as a snowflake, it is also as sturdy as a stone pillar. To be certain, if there is a starting point to the cycle of this landscape, it is in the kingdom of thundering clouds that slowly gather in the bluest of skies overhead. This is a desert, yes, but it is a desert that lies beneath the traveling storms. The promise of rain is first heard on the winds. A flicker of lightning, the roll of distant thunder. Rains drench the plateau, and then, as swiftly as they appeared, they pass, leaving behind swollen creeks and streams that quickly disappear in their wake. This is the way of change. These are the sounds of nature slowly but constantly building and reshaping the Zion landscape. Most commonly, when we think of wilderness, we may think of great wooded forests or towering mountains crowned with clouds. Southern Utah has all these features, as well as huge, wide-open expanses where distant horizons, often more than 100 miles away, can be seen. Here, one may find great basins filled with pillars and spires, sagebrush flatlands, steep-walled gorges, or powerful river canyons so deep they appear bottomless when peering into their depths. Here, too, hidden among these wild places are the remnants of ancient civilizations, the markings of a people who passed through here centuries ago, and the remnants of the Europeans who settled here in the last century. There are few places in the southwestern landscape that contain all of these features in one condensed area, which is just one more reason why Zion is so wonderful. Not only does Zion encompass all these features and more, but most of them are easily accessible to those travelers looking to explore their curiosity. And hidden behind each curve and fold, peering from every cozy den, from cliff top to sinkhole, the eyes of Zion's natural inhabitants watch the daily performance of life in this region. Some tread quietly and leave tracks as light as a raven's path across the sky. Others may serenade your journey through narrow passages. They are all here, hidden among the forests and clinging to the rock faces, playing important roles we have only begun to understand. They are as much a part of Zion as the red walls that protect them. From its tallest peaks to its lowest depths, Zion's places flow together from use to use. These places make shelter, quench a desert's thirst, harbor gardens, and house a wealth of life. These places ignite our senses with colors for which we have no names, and soothe us with sounds and songs long forgotten in our urbanized world. In the high country of Zion, the worlds of earth and sky merge. Atop the upthrust peaks of this cross-bedded landscape, the lines and colors of these mountains are dizzying. The patterns incised into the stone surfaces have a hypnotic effect, pulling you closer to get a better look. The building block responsible for creating such magnificence in Zion's landscape is Navajo sandstone. It is relatively soft and very porous, qualities that are highly influenced by the suggestions of water and temperature. Long ago, before man or memory, these peaks were massive sand dunes deposited on the coast of a vanished supercontinent. Now solidified, compressed by later depositions long since washed away, hardened by the sun for millions of years, cracked by freezing winters, their shapes still resemble their past. What shapes do you see? Game boards? Chimneys? Ripples? This is a land of lines and grooves, of pines that appear to have been bonsaied, and creek beds that fill and empty as fast as a storm can pass. This is high desert. It is arid and harsh, yet it has been shaped by water and is filled with life. Water's presence in this area, though fleeting, has left its wiggling paths carved into the stone. The wind and rain-swept surfaces here have little to offer in the way of topsoil. Those species that do succeed must expend their energy finding and conserving water. Their usual stately shapes often transformed into these smaller, more twisted forms. In dry regions like these, each storm is like a deep breath, invigorating and sustaining the landscape with energy replenishing waters. No drop is wasted, and every drop is spoken for. Transcending the porous layers of Navajo sandstone, the waters begin a 2,000-foot vertical journey to the valley floor below, where they emerge from springs and seeps as if by miracles. There is a feeling one may get upon first seeing Zion Canyon, a sensation that you are drawing closer to something very special, very old. Moving upstream, deeper into its splendor, walls tower on either side of you. The canyon now stands before you, as if a passage away from, or is it back into, the familiar. What is this place? Desert? Alpine? Martian? The river at your side flows rapidly at first, then meanders in mirrored bends and pools further upstream. Great trees line the river's course and gather on ledges 500 feet or more above you. Rounding another large curve in the river's path, it is here that it hits you, the awesome sight of a great vaulted amphitheater. Its magnitude is humbling, and you must pause and gaze into its massive form. Those around you speak in hushed, reverent tones, respectful of the grand presence of the great natural forces responsible for giving such power to a landscape. And then there is excitement, the excitement that comes with anticipation, with knowing that there may be even more magic upstream. And you are right. Following your curiosity around curve after curve, moving further upstream, finding new and more striking scenery, oddities, discovering worlds within your own, seeing the peculiar combination of desert mingling with forest, shadow converging with color, the spectacular and the subtle. Worlds of contradiction, ever confounding presumption. There is a smile in unlearning what you thought you knew. The river responsible for creating Zion Canyon is the Virgin River. It is she who, for untold millions of years, has sliced and shaped and carried away the solid rock once in her path. She is a tempestuous entity, at times raging in great floods that carry away overgrown banks and plow into the ever-deepening canyon. Other times she is tranquil, with barely a movement to suggest her travels. Her gentle curves undercut banks, creating arched alcoves and exotic formations. Spilling, tumbling, and falling, she carries away the sediments of the rain-swept high country, employing their abrasive qualities to help her redefine the terms deep and narrow. The forces of erosion both destroy the present and create the future. Temples, courts, and thrones. A castle must surely be near. If so, this place must be the watery passage to its gate, the narrows of the Virgin River. 250,000 years of erosion has gouged these remarkable chambers, in places no more than a few feet wide, yet hundreds of feet deep. Its pockets of gardens and curious carvings lure you down into the heart of Zion. To walk within these narrow corridors is to be among the slices of geologic time. Here among the waterways at the bottom of the canyons are riparian habitats as green as a tropical jungle. Box elders stand with velvet ash, interspersed with the seasonal color explosions of maple and cottonwoods. Springs that weep and leap from rocks and dripping grottos are alive with hanging gardens. They are a virtual swamp in a land of cacti. Zion is a region of imperceptibly slow, but nonetheless constant, change. From season to season, from night to day, to venture through her canyons or peer from her heights, each time it will be new. The light and the colors constantly shift from one beauty to another, suspended between the waters of earth and sky, each level of Zion flows into the next, sharing commonalities with one another and incorporating new shapes and new life into their own, as if arranged by a divine plan. Zion is a gem cut from desert stone. Zion's story is still being written, etched into these rock walls deep in the desert's soul. Her secrets still wait to be found, drawing you further into slot canyons and higher up cliff faces. Like a mythical siren, she beckons to those curious souls who want to get closer to the heart of this place. What have you discovered from your time here? What have you found in yourself that connects you to this place? What may the passage of time bring to these lands? Have you found a new meaning for the word towering or the concept of ancient? Did you name a new viewpoint? Or have you met a resident of the high country or the narrows? Do you walk with a new understanding of deep? For certain, Zion's places are always generous in their giving. Though we may take only memories, no one walks away empty-handed. The discoveries we make here will forever challenge and inspire our imaginations. And so, from this magic place that lies somewhere between storm and stone, the waters and places of Zion continue to flow together, tirelessly, patiently, into the future and into our hearts.